Okay. So yes, my choice for us to listen to today is Faultline by Silverchair. This is actually a big throwback to like one of the first albums I listened to as a kid and bought with my own money. So it's kind of a throwback, nostalgic throwback. So yeah, take it away.
Unsuspecting brother doesn't know what to do when everything just falls to the ground. He wants to find some cover. He doesn't have a clue that his friend will never be found when he's informed that he
Just wanted to mention something. The vocals, how they're doing like the multiple kind of like highs and over top of lows, really captures grunge at this time. I mean, it literally like Pearl Jam, you name it. Like
Hmm.
they really were considered one of those bands that kind of never got the true acknowledgement for their genre. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Like I love that how what it captures that perfect sound of the grunge sound at this time. Yeah.
Vocals very much. I was actually thinking remind me of just like a grunge version of like Michael Stipe from REM.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
similar style.
Nice.
Thinking of the past, it's all over now. And Mother Nature strike once again. It happened oh so fast. My only question is how? How could they let that building descend? Oh yeah.
With this picture of the frog staring back at me, I like to think that they're singing about this frog at the moment.
And it's actually funny you mentioned that frog. Where they got that idea from is they found some old vinyl record called Frog Stomp, and it was like some old like I think they were saying like vintage kind of like 70s kind of rock or something like that, and they were just like, I love that name. Let's name the album Frog Stomp. And there's no like real deep meaning, but the lyrics of the song are actually pretty deep. Like I think it's about a true story about someone being like kind of like lost or in like a war zone or something like that. And yeah, but yeah, like it's actually got a pretty like real meaning to it. So yeah.
That's what's throwing me off staring at this frog. I dig the
Yeah,
album cover too.
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay, so growing up as a young kid, I wanted to be hardcore metal, but I wanted to be in the grunge world. And this part made me like want to drive my car so fast, and I wanted to prove to my brothers and sisters that I was as hard rock as they were. And this was like straight up Metallica, straight up heavy that I would just like I would play just to fight their music. So I just wanted to mention this next part as a very important part of my first album battle with my sibling.
After you laugh, I leave, I'm dead, leaving me off through the night. Earth is born again, I need you to fight, need you to fight where he is.
And then after that part, you're just like, wow, like that's some heavy stuff. And then it just gets wild and crazy, and it just tried to solidify themselves in that like kind of niche group of people who are like in the grunge, but they're calling from their influences from the heavier side. This part also was like the cherry on top of the sundae for like heavier alternative rock. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm finding myself wishing there was more of that heavy influence on it.
Yeah, yeah. What's funny about it is you can hear that foot pedal in there, and it almost sounds like he's using one foot pedal instead of two, which he probably didn't have. He wasn't outfitted with a double foot pedal kit at that time because we're talking like 96 maybe, and most bands of their in their genre did not have double foot pedals. It would be surprising. I'd have to look into that, but I don't. You can just hear that as the foot pedal, and it's not like today would have been like like it would have been way different. I would love to hear a band do a cover of this. Call out to all you bands who are watching our massive viewer, group here to go ahead and cover this song just because I asked you to. Okay.
We just need some just straight blast beats right here. Just throw it in.
That'd be awesome. Lower my hand. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's going back. It's one of those songs that I loved because it had a good atmosphere to it. At beginning, kind of a sad kind of like beginning where it just kind of feels very kind of meandering, kind of like the bass is kind of like kind of has that. But then it just kicks into gear and ends with this just kind of like monstrous kind of like breakdown. It's for the time, and yeah, it's just it's a that whole album is just a freaking home run hit. So obviously for me this is a 10. And brings back memories. So yeah.
Do you want to
Yeah,
go first,
for
Kyle?
me, yeah, I'll go. For me, I was thinking, up until that ending part where they really started pulling that metal influence, it was kind of riding at about a 6 for
Mm,
me.
mm.
Just because I've never been one super into the grunge scene, outside of Nirvana. I'll be that guy. Uh, really love Nirvana and select amount of Pearl Jam songs here or there, but for the most part, grunge just never really did much for me. But man, once they brought in that heavy aspect at the end, I was loving that. Pushed up to probably about a 6.5, maybe a 7 on further listens. Would definitely be higher if the whole thing was like that.
And for me, it was almost the right balance of stuff between like a grungy Pearl Jammy Nirvana type of vibe in the beginning, but then when it started, the moment it got to like the chugging heavy part, I started singing. For some reason, I started thinking of the Black Album by Metallica.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was like, there's one song that has both Pearl Jam and Metallica, like Mind Explosion.
JT, that's called Load, the album by Metallica. Load and Reload, that already exists.
Well, whoops, my bad. Plug for our career discography breakdown.
Extra soggy discography.
But I'm sitting at about an 8. Truthfully, Mike, you delivered promise. At first, I was a little thrown off by the cover of the frog. I was like, wait, hold on, it's a frog. Is this like Crazy Frog or Care Bears for a second? I was like, no, it delivered well, you know.
They are from Australia, so I'm guessing they probably are used to like some pretty crazy animals over there that you only hear about in your nightmares. Like, so I can only imagine like a poisonous frog or some odd, thing being very common. Crikey, it's a kangaroo frog, mate. Frogaroo.
It's a kangaroo frog. But yeah, I'm sitting about an 8 out of 10 for me. This just screams like Load Air, Metallica, and Pearl Jam, Nirvana all in one track. Bravo, my good man. Bravo.
Oh yeah. Woo. Like, I would say breakbeat, pop, rock, everything. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So yeah, enjoy.
I think my dog really likes this song because as soon as it came running up here.
Yeah.
And super into this.
It definitely changes gears here very fast, so you have to be ready for the changes. That's something. That's all I can say. Yeah. Fun fact: this guy wrote some of the music for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
Really?
He was actually screw you, Kyle. He actually was the DJ in that scene where the guy is like casting those dragons out of the DJ booth. Yeah, he his name is Koryoga. I don't know if he's his Japanese name, but he is a musical genius, and like he literally is almost so much of a genius it's almost to his detriment, because it's like trying to redefine oneself almost on a daily basis can become an exhausting thing, and all of their music fluctuates like this. But this is actually one of the most musical things they put out. But this next part, I love when groups do this kind of stuff in music coming up here. So
I really like the stereo aspect of this.
yeah. Oh, definitely if you have headphones on or
Yeah.
whatever. And yeah, and also it's kind of interesting how there's a lot of different things going. You have an acoustic guitar, kind of intro to it. Almost sounds like it's gonna be something from like Beatles thing, and then all of a sudden it jumps, you got the break beats going on in it. You have the noises and almost like you're in like what do you call it, Jack Skellington, what was that movie called?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
It reminds me of Nightmare Before Christmas, where they're like Christmas, Christmas, da 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 da. When it's like when it's doing that, it reminds me of when they're all kind of singing and laying there, just kind of has this weird vibe to it that you can. This is one of those albums you can play when you're driving and you're like just kind of in the mood for something weird, that somebody's literally layered with different beats and sounds and stuff. It's all electronic, but it's has some real guitar in it too and real stuff. So yeah. And the reason why the ending has such a high pitched noise is because it cuts right into the next song, and that high pitched sound is the beginning of the guitar kicking in, and that's why you have that weird noise. But yeah, like I'll be honest with you, in all of my musical collection, I have a lot of things that sound the same. This is one of those albums that has such a strange quality to it that it almost gains it's it gains kind of focus and attention because it brings something that I've never experienced before, in finding music randomly. And when you find something that no one knows about, you almost treasure it greater because like you and a select few who actually have, you know, searched out and found it are, you wouldn't be given this by the media because it just doesn't fit in their perfect little like, what they want to, oh, here's your chorus, here's your start, here's your beginning, here's your end, and that's it. Like, it's just got a very strange, weird stuff going on. And yeah, it's definitely a interesting piece. So 10 out of 10. That's what I give it.
I'll villain in here for a minute. No, you know what I will say. When you said you were picking Cornelious, I was expecting something else from this record. This is one that I see. Oh, you're sweating there, Mike? Huh? No.
No, that's tears out of my eyes.
So
I'm laughing.
this is one of the ones I didn't hate from there. But for me, it's just kind of background music. Like I wouldn't seek it out. I don't hate it. For me, it's just kind of there. 5 out of 10. I could see that being a cool background in like a movie scene or soundtrack to something. Definitely has some cool aspects too. I really like the production on it. The stereo things. Like even on my computer speakers here, I can hear it here and then all the different things buried underneath. So it's really cool. Yeah, no, I was, you know what? As far as Cornelius goes, you picked one of the ones that is not bad.
Nope.
This is a solid one. No, I'm just kidding. No, boo.
0 out of 10. No musical quality.
No musical quality. No. From a creative standpoint, I was expecting words, lyrics, and stuff like that, but I didn't realize. I never heard of Cornelius until you just play that, so forgive me. But I heard the things I did hear though were like, and if I had this on in the background, right? If I had this on like while I'm working, I would not be upset. I would not. I'm like, all right, cool. If I was getting high with it, that'd be a different story. I was like, oh boy,
hey, oh boy,
oh boy. Anyways,
copyright Disney. This video's down. They already took it down.
Disney's already got us down.
You didn't ask permission to make high pitched noises that you may or may not be putting after Mickey Mouse.
No, but coming down to a rating, though, I'm not gonna be the villain of 5. I'm gonna say it's a solid 7 out of 10. I mean, I enjoy what I heard. Like, it's something unique. It's very much of its own entity. It's kind of like, and I like that. I like when songs. Some of my favorite songs, some of my favorite things are instrumentals. Actually, because even though there's no word, like no lyrics, no words and stuff like that, it's still just cool to hear the music behind it. Like, so I wish some of my favorite songs of all time would have instrumental versions, like just so I could listen to that and depict the imagery of just by the music. And this kind of like got me like, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a circus almost or whatever. I didn't even know what it was, but I could picture like, oh, maybe he's getting high, maybe he's at the circus. I don't know, like.
Well, I'll tell you my theory on this song. You're on a roller coaster in Disney World, and you're starting the roller coaster, and and you kind of like you're going up, 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 you're coming down, up, 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 you're coming down, and then now you're going through the roller coaster that's like the haunted land. Like when you go through like like, oh, it's the new ride from Casper the Friendly Ghost or from like Beetlejuice. Oh, you're going through this creepy part, then you're and you're coming through, and then you reach the part where you're underwater. Like that part where it's like has all the noises like you're out in space, or you know what I mean? Like you're under the ocean where there's fish floating around, and you hear that like kind of like mysterious music, and then you kind of come back through and you take the coaster around. And I envision this kind of like theme park, and they're changing music based on where you'd be coming through. So I think that's why I love it so much, because it paints pictures in my mind of different themes. And I think that's kind of cool because it takes you on a journey and brings you back around again, and then it kind of all brings us through. So yeah,
cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The more you describe it, the more I'm like, all right, that makes more sense now. So cool. I dug it though. I dug it.
I'm glad.
Here's a shovel. Can you dig it, fool?
I was gonna watch JT's face throughout this one.
I know. It's just like I feel sorry for JT.
I'm a little scared. That's okay.
Yes, you should be scared, my friend.
Be scared by your mom.
Be rabbit. Be by your mom.
Be scared by your mom.
Be rabbit. All right, here we go. Biohazzard punishment. Let's roll. just to start off this video. This video can be summed up by this. All right, there you go. I just basically summed this video up, but all right, continue on. Okay, I don't
Fashion
know.
has come such a long way.
I I don't know why the drummer is in another dimension, but when they shoot over to him, he's in like a Tron like back alley. Like it looks like he's in another dimension, and when it pops over to him, it always makes me laugh. Um, but this is quintessential New York City hardcore.
Mhm.
Like back in the day, the lead singer was actually on Oz, HBO's Oz. He was also a porn star, and he literally led a very crazy life. And you could just look at him, and he looks just like the guy that would probably have that life. But yeah, I grew up listening to this band and I've seen them probably 13, 15 times at the Chance, and every show was amazing, but one of the nostalgic childhood bands I grew up listening to for New York City hardcore.
A burning thought into my mind, having full of pity for all of humankind. We move far, people fall behind. Fear of death, will my life go on? Control fate on the corner rolling dice. Unrespect, but I've done nothing wrong in my eyes. Who really pays the price? My movement for the human race. Guilty punishment for all my days. Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is like the early white guys doing rapping stuff, and like I feel like these guys open the door for like the new metal, the freaking what's the name of that group you like, Kyle, with Khan? What's his name? Something Kubla Khan. Is it not Kubla Khan, but it's the other one. I can't remember. They have the rap rock band that I hate that you listen to. I can't think of their name. Yeah, you'll have to think
Yeah,
about it.
think of who you're
And by the way,
talking about.
my video is so behind. I don't know if yours is like that too, JT, but
You're good. I'm watching the whole thing.
oh wow, mine's all slowed
Mm.
down and off key. I can't see anything, so it's all behind.
Mike.
So, but I mean, I'm still enjoying it. So, yeah, I'll think of the band I
This is
want to say.
This is the East Coast answer to East Coast equivalent of suicidal tendencies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Turn the deed, I bring the truth. Punishment for what I've done. Sentence me for all I've done. Bound and fear for what I've got. Throwing out blood, you see the light. Life is done, I know I'm worth. Busting my ass, another day, another dollar.
Oh.
And I confess to the fall that I'm suffering. A burning question of the truth. Whether or not to pull the trigger or do temple of the roof. Sending things normal. Just like my friend, but now I'm positive. And life it all ends. What's left? For all my sins. I repent. In reality, we all must face the facts that a majority of the people are out. The smoke crack, getting don't shooting this into their veins. Question must be asked, we have any brains left? Or right or wrong in this song? A question we all ask and must answer for long. There's no way to say in this world what's the deal. Sentence is death and do what's good to.
Oh yeah, it was at the end. I don't know if it was at
Oh,
the
you
end.
raised your hand.
Oh yeah.
I'll
No,
let it
I was
play
gonna
out.
say. Yeah. Go for it. I'll finish up. Yep. Punishment! Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Woo! Yeah, I've seen them many a day. I mean, I remember one of the shows, someone took a chair and threw it into the mosh pit, and someone caught it, put it down on the ground, and somebody jumped on the chair and started doing like breakdancing moves on the chair. And I just remember thinking, like, what the hell is going on? Someone jumped from the balcony, off the Chance's balcony, into the crowd on top of
Oh
everyone.
my god.
That was
Damn.
like when you see like people jumping on top of each other in these like videos. No, it legit every show was like that. It was like crazy like that. Everyone hanging on top of each other. Like the guy would jump down into the audience and they would all be trying to sing the group vocals in the mic at the same time, just like trying to imitate the video. So it like literally you saw it, it was literally it. Like it was what happened in real life. So you felt like you were part of a family when you listened to this music. Like you all belonged, like it was everything's about my family, my friends, respect, you know, uh, you know, don't cross your the family, this and that. You just felt like you were part of a movement. So like it just brings back good memories of the hardcore movement. And my rating is a 10. All right, yeah, finish that up.
Oh, by the way, my rating is a 10.
But B2 Dubs, that's a 10.
JT, take it away.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Well, I was banging my head a little. Stop it. Stop it. I'm trying to say my words, damn it. I was banging my head a little bit through the watching this video and doing this reaction. For this one, I was like, wow, this actually like at first I was like, wait, when they first said, all right, just be ready, I'm like, all right, whatever. Sure enough, I was like, that was pretty darn good. Nothing really to complain about there. The only how old is it again?
This was like gotta
late-
be like it's
The
it's
90s?
early 90s. Yeah, it's gotta be 90. I don't know why I'm thinking 93, but let me
Okay.
see. It could even be this even could be late 80s. Let me see. I'll have to look that up while
I
you
got
talk.
it. I got you.
You got it.
1992.
Yeah, the
92.
90s. Wow, it's close. 93. Yeah,
So it's just over 30 years old.
me too.
When
Don't make Mike feel bad.
so Mike is actually about almost 4. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm almost 4. I am almost 40. I'm 39. So I mean, yeah,
It's hard
I'm
to
almost
believe.
40.
Oh
I
my
know,
God.
man. Life flies when you're clinically depressed. But anyway,
No, Mike, you picked a good one tonight. This is a bit of a surprise. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I would not go so far as to say it was like it's the greatest thing ever. I mean, in your eyes, it's a 10. In my eyes, it's at about like an 8. I'm sitting about a 7.5 or an 8 right now. Just for the enjoyment that it wasn't like super duper hard. It was actually a nice blend of like 90s hard rock off the streets, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? I like the vibe that I was getting personally. If you're watching us, I was headbanging a little bit to this. And the moment I heard that guitar, I was like, all right, it's go time, baby. Time to get that time to get that concussion and go. So,
Concussion. That's right. The percussion
but
and the concussion.
yeah, rushing for a concussion. But yeah, so this is a good one. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. You did good on this one, and I like the guitar, and it wasn't it wasn't quite like Nirvana, it wasn't quite like Pearl Jam at the time. It was kind of its own thing, which I liked. So, but yeah, 8 out of 10 for me, man. Way to go,
Kyle.
I mean, Mike, I love punk and hardcore. I'm right there with you on that. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. It's great. It's nothing like absolutely like earth shattering, but it's a great song. It really embodies, even the music video really embodies that East Coast New York hardcore scene. And like I said earlier, it's kind of the East Coast equivalent of Suicidal Tendencies, who also great band.
And I love it's like a snapshot into like the world at the time.
Yeah.
It's like when you saw like Ninja Turtles, the original movie, and they had like the kids with the mohawk playing the bass in that one scene, and they're like, it was like a perfect embodiment of like the time, period, like what was going on in the world, what the style was like, and the realness of making a music video where you weren't just like, oh, I can't let people do this, it's offensive. It's just like the real like everyone getting together in the streets and just like they don't do that kind of stuff
No,
anymore.
it's really like one of the last. The hardcore movement was really kind of one of the last musical movements. I was, underground, but also felt like a family and never really,
Yeah.
it never really got to that mainstream for the most part. Never really hit that mainstream appeal that kind of watered it down.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yep.
even as far as, let's go back to like the early 2010s when like metalcore had like the scene metalcore, because metalcore had its moment back in the 2000s.
Yeah.
But look at like the scene metalcore, it kind of started off that way. It was like the underground, but then once it blew up, it became so oversaturated and everyone was doing it. The
Yeah.
hardcore scene wasn't really like that. It was just kind of, here's what it is. And like, you're right, it's such like a moment in time. And a lot of those
Yeah.
bands are either just not doing it anymore or they're still
Yep.
doing it the same way,
Yeah.
whereas
Right.
a lot of the bands in other genres, they moved on, tried to adapt, like they weren't true to really their sound.
Yeah.
And it's something super respectable about the whole hardcore movement.
Yeah. Like these are the kind of guys that would never add synthesizers or
Yep.
like more like metallic riffing.
They're not gonna
You
get
know?
that polished, like every
Yeah.
note needs to be in the exact place in this,
Yeah, it's very raw and
Yep.
it's got the street rap feel with alongside some good breakdowns and rhythm. The rhythm in it, it's got that like the guitar tone has a Metallica feel to it, like 80s rock feel to it, but alongside the rap feel to it. So it's kind of like a little bit of this and a little bit of that mixed together, trying to make a good union of it. So yeah. Are we boring you, JT? Are we boring you? Huh?
No, before we started our videos tonight, I actually woke up from a nap. So I'm like, I'm starting to go.
Lucky you.
I got you. Lucky you, you
All right.
Napster.
Well,
Call you Napster from now on.
What?
Don't tell Metallica.
Don't tell Metallica. They'll try to
All right.
cancel you.
Slipknot, whatever, man.
To get on to the last round of picks.
Eliuveite. I don't know if you know how to spell that, Kyle. If you need help, let me know. ELU.
I got it.
The Call of the Mountains by
Got it.
ELUVEITIE. Okay. All right. My song is The Call of the
Nuclear
Mountains
Bass
by
Blend.
Eliuveite. Yeah. Take it away. JT, all right up there?
Do something.
Side note, please. Really want to see this movie Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Looks
No,
awesome.
no spoilers for the Cocaine Bear.
Inspired by true events.
All right. Cocaine Bear. All right. Song.
Cocaine Bear.
Mike, what are you doing to me?
What did you say?
What are you doing to me right now?
What happened?
Is this Real Gone Part 2?
Immediately with this instrumentation here?
Yes.
All right.
I have to do it to you.
It's 4 minutes.
All right. Rewind it.
Against the waves with our swords in our hands, against the sea with our backs to the walls, against the stress in the presence of our enemies, against the storms roaring at our faces. A cry rang out throughout the skies.
I don't know why, but parts of the vocals are reminding me of like Hillary Duff. Really interesting.
Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah,
That's
really
awesome.
interesting.
By the way, this band is from Switzerland, and the person playing that instrument is what's called a hurdy-gurdy is the actual name of the instrument. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but only very few people can actually play them anymore. It's a kind of an old ancient instrument. You turn a crank and play like strings and stuff. It'll show it more in here, but yeah, they're from Switzerland. Eliuveite, I've seen them live, amazing. They have so many different instruments going on stage, and yeah, it's a real experience. But yeah, they're from Switzerland, by the way. Just kidding. All right, guys.